Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns versus Jacksonville Jaguars Week 11 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. Since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation in terms of various variables. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Browns and the Jaguars, when you look at the basic NFL stat comparison data, and basic NFL stat comparison data essentially is looking at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams as a unit is doing. And based on this overall macro view, not surprising, Jaguars heavily favored in this matchup. So let's get into some of the reasons why the Jaguars are so favored. When you look at the offense, the turnover ratio between the Browns and the Jaguars is just massive. Massive difference in terms of turnover percentage between both of these teams. Massive difference in terms of giving up sacks for the Browns versus the Jaguars. And not only that, a massive difference in terms of offensive score percentage. The Jaguars are just that much better on offense. They don't allow sacks. They don't turn the football over a lot. And on top of that, they also score more points. And defensively speaking, I mean, it shouldn't even be... You shouldn't have no doubt. Defensively, the Jaguars are just massively better than the Browns when it comes to defensive offensive score percentage, turnover percentage, sack percentage, and interception percentage. Jaguars are just favored across the board. Now, where the Browns have some advantages is on special teams. The Browns have a better kick return yardage, the Browns have a better defensive kick return yardage, and the Browns have a better punting average. But the Jaguars have a better punt return yardage, they have a better defensive punt return yardage, they have a better field goal percentage, and ultimately there's enough things favoring the Jaguars in terms of putting up points that it just becomes very clear that despite the fact that the Browns might have some success on special teams, you're not going to win a game on special teams alone. So that's just kind of how the data kind of works from here. You know, when you look at all the data from a forest perspective, right? We're not looking at the trees, we're looking at the forest. You can see that the Jaguars are just heavily favored in this game. So it'd be very surprising if the Browns got the first win this week. Then, of course, when you look at down and distance data, which is basically micro data. So now we're looking at the trees instead of the forest. When you look at completion percentage data between the Browns offense and the Jaguars defense, the Jaguars are favored here on first, second, and third down, respectfully. Then, of course, you get to the Jaguars offense versus Browns defense. In this particular area, I would say that it's even. Jaguars have an advantage on first down, Browns have an advantage on third down, and then second down is really even. So I would say this is pretty even between the Jaguars offense and the Browns defense when it comes to completion percentage. Then, of course, when you get to rushing down, so this is the first down conversion rate, which is the ability to get first downs with the run on first, second, and third down respectively. And the Browns are favored here on first, second, and third down. So I think the Browns will have some success running the football in this game. And of course, you get to the Jaguars offense versus the Browns defense. In this particular area, the Browns are favored in terms of first, second, and third down respectfully. So the Browns defense, I think, will have success against the Jaguars offense. The Jaguars had a pretty strong rushing game, and then things just started to kind of dip a bit. So ultimately, I think the Browns will have some success stopping the run in this game. I think that's definitely something that I would expect based on the data. Then, of course, you get to passing downs. This is the Browns passing offense versus Jaguars passing defense. And the Browns continue to have the worst first down conversion rate on third down out of any team in the NFL in terms of the pass. So that continues to be an issue. And not only that, they're not much better on first or second down. Then, of course, you get to the Jaguars passing offense versus Browns passing defense. And in this particular area, the Jaguars are favored here in terms of first and third down, respectively. Then you get to sack rate. The Cleveland Browns offense versus the Jaguars defense. And the Jaguars are favored here pretty dang heavy. I mean, just look at it. Ooh, Jaguars are going to get some sacks. That's all I got to say. Then, of course, you get to the Jaguars offense versus the Browns defense. And this is one area where the Browns have had some issues. Getting sacks has not been the best thing, and I think ultimately you can see that the Jaguars are pretty favored here in terms of preventing sacks. Then, of course, you get to interception ratio of the Browns offense versus the Jaguars defense. The Browns have the worst interception ratio on first down out of every team in the NFL and on second down out of every team in the NFL. And third down, they're not the worst, but they're close. So ultimately, I just it's not good. It's just not a good. I mean, people debate what's better, the Browns offense or the Browns defense, and both these units are not that great. But the Browns offense is just at another level of being bad. So this is just not the best worst situation. Then to finish it all up, to wrap it all up, we look at the Jaguars offense versus the Browns defense in terms of interception ratio. In this particular area, I would say it's pretty even. First down situation, the Jaguars are favored, and then third down. First down, the Jaguars are favored, and then third down, the Browns are favored. So ultimately, I think it's kind of wishy-washy in terms of this matchup. So to conclude about my general feelings about this game, I think it's a Jaguars victory. I don't think that should be surprising by any stretch of the imagination. But there are a couple little things here and there that worry me a bit. Firstly, it's the Jaguars offense. You saw the issues with the completion percentage. There's a lot of evenness between the Jaguars offense and this Browns defense in terms of certain situations. So, for example, the Browns have somewhat of an advantage on third down when it comes to rushing downs against the Jaguars. The passing down situation is kind of even. So, there is a chance that the Browns defense could have some success, and then the Browns get some momentum, and then they're able to win their first football game. Am I going to bet on that? Am I going to bet on a team to take down the Jaguars who have such a great defense? I don't think so. So ultimately, I do think there is some stuff that point towards this game being interesting. I think there's enough data to say that something kind of out of the ordinary could happen in this particular game, but I don't think it's enough to kind of say that it's going to be this giant upset for the Browns, ultimately. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.